So, hello everyone, welcome to the yapping session with this beautiful Yamaha R15 version 2 anniversary edition. So, how well is this bike performing in 2026? Let's talk about that. So, first of all, I bought this thing pre-owned 2 years back, did some restoration, did some maintenance, and I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. It's better than any motorcycle. I mean, even if I get a new one, I'll still choose this one. It has that character to it. Now, the first question that you might ask me is why I got this used pre-owned. Really good deal for me. This thing surpasses any other 200cc motorcycle. Even in today's market, if you look, you don't have many options, right? Especially this thing is BS3. So, as you all know, today's market is consisting BS6 phase 2, BS6. So, what options do we have in the 200cc market? Okay, let's take this look. Yeah, so the options which we have from Bajaj are again then N160, NS200, RS200. NS400Z comes at around the same price point, just a bit 30,000 extra. Then the new R15 version 4 MT15. But then again, considering the cost, those motorcycles are well above 2 lakh rupees on road. If you buy in cash, loans, EMIs, that's a bit a hectic thing. So I had the option to get a new motorcycle, the NS200, the new R15, the MT15, even the Dominar 400 for that matter. I had the options. But buying those motorcycles would have, not been that beneficial for the knowledge. I mean, this thing breaks down, this thing is old, this thing is easy to understand because no electronics, no bullshit, raw machine, pure motorcycle. So buying this thing taught me a lot. One of my favorite YouTubers, Vikas Rajmala, he also did a podcast on why you should be buying a used first motorcycle rather than spending 2.5 lakhs on getting a bike. The thing is, buying a used motorcycle teaches you a lot about motorcycling than being a newbie with a new brand new motorcycle. Brand new, you buy, you just ride normally. It's you don't get that knowledge curve. The knowledge curve of buying this thing, restoring it, maintaining it, and learning about it is, I would say, it's exponential. I mean, not exaggerating, but it's exponential actually. I got this thing pre-owned, and the major reason for me buying this thing was I wanted to increase my learning curve. I wanted to learn at a faster pace than I would have learned with buying a new motorcycle. And plus, just look at this thing, man. Just look at this thing. It looks like a mini R6. The tail section, the fairings, everything. It's just so... It's aging like fine wine, I would say. So I bought it used, as I said. Then, sorry for the random words. I'm fumbling a bit. In today's market, in the 200cc segment, first of all, the prices of the motorcycles have gone insane over the past few years. I got this thing at a very reasonable rate, considering it was launched in 2012 at around, it was coming at 1.3 lakhs, 1.4 lakhs on road in 2012, which was a hefty amount at that time. But considering some idiots like me exist, we buy this stuff in 2024, 2023. And now I'm here, owning one of the OG of the market, the Yamaha R15 version 2.0, the dream bike of many of the 1990s. And I mean 1990s born. This thing was launched in 2012. The first iteration of R15 was the R15 version 1. It was launched in 2008 or 9, and that was a revolution in the Indian motorcycling market, right? That bike brought in fuel injection, it brought in liquid cooling, it brought in dual disc brakes, it got a wind tunnel tested body, it had that perimeter, or the, as Yamaha calls it, delta box frame. It was such a step up for the market. It was a marvelous piece of engineering, and so is the R15 version 2. All the flaws the version 1 had were done and dusted here. The version 1 had pretty slim tires, the sprocketting was not right, the low end current was not there, it was not happy in the low end. I mean, this thing is also not happy because the character of this engine is, she wants to just rev, very rev happy engine, always wants to be in that 7000 plus RPM range. So yeah, that is the primary reason of buying me R15 version 2, a 13 year old motorcycle, is the knowledge curve, definitely, and the looks of it. I mean, just look at it, man, just look at it. Isn't she damn beautiful? And the bike is pretty much stock as the body is concerned. That is not stock. So looks are amazing. You got those dual halogen headlamps, those look like eyes, pretty much resembles the Yamaha R1 and R6 of that time. So now let's come to the specs part of this thing, then we'll slowly move on to the ownership review, the maintenance, the modifications I did, and overall as a package why this thing still surpasses most of the motorcycles in the Indian market. So let's start with the specs. So this is the Yamaha YZF R15 version 2 50th anniversary WGP edition. It was launched in 2012 and it was in the BS3 norms. So raw power. This thing had no ABS, no traction control, basically no electronics. I mean, who's going to use traction control in 150cc, man? If you're having good tires, it's not going to wheel spin at all. And ABS, yeah, ABS could be a thing, but again, who wants electronic aids? The direct connect you have with the machines is a lot more enjoyable. It makes you feel lively. So no ABS, no traction control, no electronic gimmicks, just raw 150cc engine, a really nice frame, a sick swing arm for the segment, alloy wheels, that super sport riding position, perfect track bike at that time. I mean, KTM. Okay, then talking about the specs of the engine, it's a 149cc single cylinder 4-valve liquid cooled engine. It churns out around 17 horsepower and 15 Newton meters of torque at 7,500 RPM. I mean, you can see the torque is right up there at 7,500, so you have to rev her up. It's a really nice character. I mean, all the R series bikes from Yamaha have that character. They want to be revved. The Yamaha R6, man, 16,000 RPM red line. Can you say? And look at it. It's a mini R6, right? No doubt in that. The rear seat. Then look at the headlights. It resembles the Yamaha R6 from the old shape. The old shape was, oh my god, that's a dream bike for me. Really, really a smooth mill. I mean, considering the BS3 standards, it does have some vibrations to them. But again, it makes you feel alive with the motorcycle. If you're riding a motorcycle, you should feel like there is a living being under you. It should not be a machine. There's no vibrations, nothing, all electronics, ABS, traction control, this, that. I mean, you don't feel alive on that motorcycle, man. Now, after this, I'm going to buy the KTM RC390, the BS3 version of it, completely restore it. That would be my second motorcycle, manifesting it, let's hope. Okay, so we talked about the engine, we talked about the electronics and all. Let's talk about the looks. I mean, timeless beauty. No, not much talking on the looks part. This body was wind tunnel tested, one of the first wind tunnel tested bikes in India. Then looks, we have done with the looks, the engine. Let's talk about the suspension on this thing now. The suspension on this thing, the rear one is a gab rail monoshock with a link type suspension. Like, it has linkage, so it stiffens as the suspension and the swing arm moves upwards. So pretty ahead of its time. In such a low segment motorcycle, having a linkage type suspension is insanity. The front suspension of this thing is telescopic from KYB, Kayaba, Japanese engineering again. So even though the thickness of the fork tubes is not that much, they are pretty, I would say, firm. Not stiff, not too soft, just right in between, perfect for the Indian roads, maintaining that sporty character of the machine. So suspension wise, I would say the rear is a bit stiff and the front is a bit soft. But considering the age of the motorcycle, the rear one, I recently changed the whole bearings, the whole suspension, the swing arm bearing. So the rear has become soft for me, basically a new setup. But the front is still soft. So I'm planning to use a thicker grade fork oil. Company recommends 10W. I'll be putting in 15W just to make it a bit stiffer. So suspension is pretty nice, I would say. Not bad, not too good. It's right there, suitable for the Indian road conditions. Really great at the highways, very planted feel, very planted. Even if you are doing top speeds of this motorcycle, you won't believe this thing with the stock sprocketting goes up to 151 kilometers an hour without hitting the limiter. I mean, you might laugh at me, say, we can't believe it, but yeah, a well-maintained R15 version 2, with good clutch plate conditions, good sprockets, well-maintained engine compression, everything, really well-maintained bike. It does go 150 kilometers per hour in a long stretch. I'm saying long stretch. The ideal top speed for this thing in without having to pull her for a long period will be around 145 kilometers an hour. Easily doing 140 kilometers an hour, no problem with that. So the top speed and the top end of this motorcycle is tremendous, considering it's just 150cc, no VVA compared to the version 3 and the version 4. So it's just raw 150cc motor. It is stiffer than the version 4 and the R15 version 3. MT15 comes around the stiffness of this thing. But it makes the motorcycle really stable at higher speeds. Like, even if you are at 130 kilometers an hour on the highway, the rear end feels really, really planted. The front end of the motorcycle, it's soft, but once it's like, in the straight line, it's going nowhere. You feel the stability. The clip-on handlebars of this thing are, inclined inwards. If you compare it to a KTM RC, they're pretty wide, but this thing, it's inwards and down. So it's made to tuck in to the motorcycle. So that riding position gives you the front end stability more than the suspension, I would say. I mean, I'm not that knowledgeable, but still, it's my personal opinion. Then, I am making a random video, guys. Please don't judge me. Coming to the brakes of this thing, the front is a twin pod Nissan caliper. It doesn't say Nissan anywhere, but I know it's Nissan. So, and I don't know the exact diameter of the discs, but yeah, it's a bit smaller than the R15 version 3. These twin pod calipers are good enough to stop the motorcycle. It has rubber hoses. I got the master cylinder changed to a RTR 4V master cylinder because one of my friends had dropped my motorcycle and it was really painful for me, but what can we do, things shit happens. So the master cylinders, I guess the o-rings were torn, the feedback was gone, so got this thing replaced, did it again, just went bought a TVS Apache master cylinder. It is a 19mm piston inside, so definitely the amount of fluid you're sending through the brake lines has gone up. But the brake hoses of this thing are rubber, right? And it has been 14 years since the motorcycle has come out, so they have definitely expanded, and everything as bad has happened to them. Temperature changes, weather changes, lot of use. So the initial bite is not there, but once the the threshold of that expansion is gone, this thing just stoppies. And single piston rear. The rear one is a meh, I would say. I mean, it's a super sport bike, so no not a super sport, sorry, it's a sport bike, so all the weight, most of the weight is in the front end, so the front brake does most of it. 70% front, 30% rear. The caliper and the disc are pretty sufficient, I would say, but the pads availability for this thing is not that good. I have changed the master cylinder. We'll come to the modifications part later on. So the brakes are, I would say, good, no doubt. The equipment is good. It's just you have to maintain it if you're buying it pre-owned. You have to rehaul the calipers. I would suggest, I mean, in the modifications part I will tell you what to do to make that braking supreme. Then suspension is then the chassis. I would say one of the best chassis out there in the segment. It has the delta box frame, also known as the perimeter frame, and a die-cast aluminium swing arm. This swing arm is I mean, if you look at it, it looks identical to the version 3, version 4 and the MT15 version 2 swing arms, but this thing is a bit different. This thing is complete unit, it's not joined via bolts or anything. It's completely casted out of aluminium, and it's more, how would I say, halka nahi hai ye, bhari hai, wazandar hai, damdar hai. Most of the parts of the version 2 are, the quality wise, they are better, I would say. They are more heavy duty. Starting from the clutch bell itself, the clutch bell of the version 2 is far better in terms of quality than the version 3. The version 3, yeah, it's a nice motorcycle, well engineered, but again, it's a bit, it feels a bit cheap, I would say. This thing feels more premium and more reliable to me, and I have experienced the reliability of this thing. Really nice motorcycle in that aspect. Let's come to the switchgear and the clustering part. So this is the key, pretty normal. Still, the version 4 also gets the same key, Yamaha. This is the speedometer. It's a semi-digital and analog. So look at that needle go up. Oh my god, still makes me fall in love with it. So the cluster gives you the neutral, indicator, high beam, engine check light, and temperature. It has basic auto, trip 1, trip 2. Once you are in reserve, it also shows how many kilometers the bike has done while being in reserve. So a pretty basic unit, but it makes you feel alive. That needle, man, needle. The BS3, RS, NS, the R15, the CBR 150, 250. The bikes with those speedometers are like, oh my god, they look so damn sexy. When the needle goes up, that's, I mean, I don't know what is wrong with the automotive brands nowadays, giving shit LCD clusters. But yeah, hell, we got this thing. We are happy with it. So I talked about the suspension, the chassis, the engine, the brakes. What's remaining? The looks are insane again. It has got a 12 liters metal tank. E20 is bad for this thing. It rusts. I mean, mine has not rusted yet because I maintain and clean it every 2-3 services. Talking about the wear and tear parts. The chain sprocket. This is the third chain sprocket for this bike. The stock one lasted around 30,000, 2730, because the previous owner changed it to a local brand. That local one did around 10,000. Now I have installed this roll-on chain sprocket, and yeah, chain sprocket pretty basic. Got the man with the plan right here. Another modification or the add-on I did is this main stand. It costed me around 1,400 for the stand and another 100-200 for the shaft and the spring, I guess. So around 1,600 rupees. Main stand, OEM Yamaha, made in Jakarta. I was pretty impressed. Then coming to the tires. Yeah, the tires now. The tires which I recently changed. This is the Rice Moto Race Rad, the street oriented tire from Rice. I changed the section 280/17, upsized one. From 90 is the stock size of this motorcycle, but in the 90 section you don't have many options. The stock MRF zappers are not that good for the grip, so I went with Rice, new brand. Wanted to try them out. So far, pretty great tires. Coming to the rear ones, a bit of overkill for the R15. This is the C8 Sportrad 140/70 ZR17. This is a 0-degree steel belted radial tire. W rated, goes up to 270 kilometers an hour without any issues. Really a soft compound tire, loving the grip it gives. The tread pattern also resembles the Michelin Road 5s a bit. So yeah, looks really great. I had option for Alpha H1s, but the the grips, if you see, the Alpha H1 is pretty slick tire, right? It doesn't have many grooves and sipings, so this thing performs better than the H1 in the rains. Better water channeling. The profile is rounder. I had the option to go with the TVS Product Extremes with the 130, the stock size of the motorcycle, but they were out of my budget and pretty expensive. They're very soft compound. The mileage is very low. The Alpha H1 has the highest mileage, but this thing, new launch, well balanced, and yeah, pretty good tire so far. Changing the tires has reduced the flickability but improved the stability. So every coin has two sides. You got to get the negatives out of the way, look at the positives, be happy about it. The tires are more stickier, but the flickability which the R15 is known for is, a little reduced, because as you know, R15 version 1 is still, if you ride a R15 version 1 on the track, you would say that the version 1 feels more better at leaning than the version 4s. And the major reason would be the tires. It has really skinny tires, and it leans, and it's very flickable, just moves into the corner with ease. But then again, the cornering stability is what is affected by upsizing. Then talking about the seating comfort of this thing, it's pretty aggressive. At the same time, it's comfortable. The foot pegs are rear set just a bit. The clip-ons are inwards and down, but overall you don't have to bend in much like the version 3. The version 3 of the R15 is one of the most aggressive iterations of the R15 yet. The version 4 is still better than that, but again, this is a pretty sweet spot if you want a sporty riding committed position and comfort at the same time. I mean, I have done 300 kilometers in one stretch at this thing. Performs really well, no problem at that. So now, I mean, look at the speedometer of this thing. It's just a random video, guys, don't judge me on. Look at this thing. I mean, who would not love this? The needle is 10,500 RPM red line. That needle, when you accelerate, it goes up, and the top end it screams. The power band is really high up there. In the low end it has got, like, it feels dead, then slowly it picks up. After 7,000 it becomes a monster compared to the engine size. After 7,000 this really pulls hard. So now let's say what the maintenance I did on this thing. So basic maintenance, not much. Engine oil, I use Motul 300V. I mean, at the first 2 times I used Motul 7100, but once I tried the 300V, and I'm telling you guys that oil is really awesome. It's not like 7100 is bad, but comparing it to the 300V does not degrade, I would say, after 3,000 4,000 kilometers. When the oil ages, the 7100, the bike kind of feels a bit rough to use, but 300V, it is pretty much consistent throughout its life. No issues at all. Really great engine oil, top of the line from Motul. Then the oil filter, 257, 250, I don't know, something around 250 ranges. I changed the front fork springs with the oil seal. Then I did the clutch cable, throttle cable, pretty basic stuff, nothing special in that. And I'm very confused, man. I don't know. I was going to talk about the modifications and upgrades I did rather than the general maintenance and parts replacement. So this is a full system first copy Akrapovic with NMW racing bend pipe, one of the highest quality bend pipes. Really nice. You know, just by looking at it, you can say that the quality is far better than the local ones. Just for the sound, I wanted to do a bit of Chapripanti. The double bubble visor. My friend broke the first one. It was Indonesian. This is I don't like it much, but yeah, I'm not spending money on that again until it breaks. Yeah, so I did Liquimoly .5.1 brake fluid. I changed the fork oil to Motul 15W with the fork springs changed. The front brake pads, I have installed Vesra ceramic brake pads. I am planning to do steel braided brake lines now from Daikin Japan, 66 bhp. They are providing Teflon cores from Daikin Japan, so that would really improve the braking feel of the motorcycle. Another modification, as I said, the tank shrouds. The complete wiring harness of this thing is changed. The OEM one, it costed me around 6,000 rupees to change the whole wiring. The spark plug I'm using is the Engage Iridium spark plug. It improves the mileage and the vibrations a bit. Then the tires, as I said, CS Sport Rads. Yeah, it's a pretty nice machine overall. I'm not really good at making. This is my first video. Some random crap I'm saying. I mean, it's not crap. I'm so dumb. Huh. So, yeah, talked about her. I hope my yapping session wasn't boring for you guys. It must be. Mm, yeah, so while ending the video, let's start the motorcycle, hear a rev up, and end it.